Hey guys, Olaf here from LSE. Today we're going to use a new microphone set. I'll have the product links down below. I'm pretty happy with it. What we're going to work on today is a Jeep Grand Cherokee. As you guys can see, it's a 1999 model, but this applies for 1999 all the way up to 2004. The things you need for this job is a couple things. You need a flathead screwdriver, you need a torque set, which I'm gonna put links for most of these products also in the description so you guys have them, because you need a torque. You need a 10mm socket. I have one even with the adapter right away to go onto either the 3/8 or also on an impact driver electric to speed things up, and the proper tip. So what we're working on is to remove this panel, which also the pins to securing the door panel in place. We just did a massive order and we'll get them in hopefully within the next couple weeks, and then we will start selling those in bigger bags, 25 or 50 in a bag on Amazon. So I'm gonna add that link to the description as well. And also what we've done, let me walk around, we spent some money. I have to see if we got through eBay or Amazon. We got the whole unit for roughly around $25, which comes with the clips and everything, with the new motor, with new screws, which are big Phillips. They should be all 10mm on this set. The nuts, they were, I think, on the original side 8mm, but these are also 10mm now, so that simplifies the whole thing. Phillips screws and everything. So first thing first, we're going to remove the whole panel. And so I might have to do this video again if the audio doesn't work too well, but this is the first time I'm using the new audio, which is a microphone which is wireless via UHF. So even when I walk around, the audio stands with me. So you guys pretty much are having always a microphone from me. The things we have to do, that's why I got a flathead. And I also need a Phillips head, screwdriver, which I have in here, which are pretty much the required items. You have up here a Phillips screw in, which is going to be removed after you remove with a small flathead the plastic piece. So let me just remove that screw here. I have a feeling this is not the original screw. Looks a little bit like somebody improvised. That is not the original. So we'll have to replace that. Then behind the door handle in here, let me guys take you up here close for this. So sorry for the shaky camera, I just have to take you out of the stand. So again, there is your Phillips sitting in there. Then behind the door handle, if you pull the door handle a little bit forward, there is the hole where a bolt sits in with the tucks. And then in your door handle down in here is another Phillips, which you have to remove. Those are the bolts you have to remove before you can pry up the door panel and remove it. Again, there are plenty of plastic pins which tend to break, and sometimes you get lucky and you get some new door panels with it, and sometimes you are not lucky and you don't. And so I know that I was not that lucky, so let me take this off. So these are the door handles for the door opening. Those are being removed by flipping with a flathead screwdriver them backwards, like you push and they snap back, and then you can pull the handle straight up. You have another connector up here which I'm going to detach. It's just a clip you push in and you pull on it, and you have, let me see if I can get you guys to actually see this. Alright, down in here is also a connector. The security pin is in the back. You just push it slightly and then you pull on the wires in the back and it pops right out. Then you do the last door panel clip here, you push up and your whole panel comes out. So the guy which owned the car already removed the motor and the rail completely. It goes in like so, and it has in the back, that's important, there's grease in here, so you got a couple greasy fingers, but you see these pins? These pins you don't have to remove. You only remove them with a flathead when you remove it from the glass and out the unit. When you install it, you don't have to worry about it. So these are snap-in mechanisms, so that simplifies the whole thing a lot better. Anyhow, you can get this whole unit for around $22, $25. So that makes your life a lot easier. I'll put it on the ground. Make sure it is for the right front. It is labeled with an R on the rail. Anyhow, so now we have these bolts all removed, almost. Once I have them all out, and it's easier when you remove them all. You also remove the 3 nuts which are on the back plate of your motor. So you have the 3 nuts here and you have the 4 bolts. You need those. Put them inside here, right on the carpet, so you have them right close to what you're doing. Here is normally a rubber gasket in place, which was removed. It looks like somebody removed here also the speaker. Yep, the speaker is missing in this door. So we'll put a speaker back in. I saw that in the trunk was a speaker. This is a car we just bought used. So my stepdaughter actually can go back and forth to work. She just started a new job and needs now a car for herself to get back and forth to work. So all in all, the way to install it, and the easiest way to begin with, is you peel all this off, and as you can see, here are the push pins. So you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 push pins per panel. And so we just bought them from a manufacturer in China in big bulk. I think our first order is somewhere in around 5,000 units we bought. And we're going to resell those on the market here so that you guys can actually repair it and get these back attached to it. nobody is really carrying those anymore. There are a couple of replacement options, but again, even the yellow ones, which are the newer ones, they just snap and break. They are not designed really too well to withstand a lot of pressure. So when you pull a little bit too much on it, it just falls apart. So while I have this here already apart, I just brush off some of the dirt and dust which accumulated here over the years, just because I can. What we originally want to do is to actually install the motor. So if you have the whole fabric pulled off, and this plastic is a flexible nylon plastic, but it rips very easily. So as you can see, this one ripped already, so to the point they didn't reinstall it even. What it is a water shield, so that water is not coming inside the car. But if you want to protect yourself from actually getting water into the cabin, the much more important thing is that your gaskets for the doors work correctly, and then you actually work from the inside in your door and seal it with a spray glue adhesive system, so that all these holes, nuts and crannies are completely sealed. Otherwise it is only for like spray water protection. Anyhow, so you can put this in by pushing it in here. Just pushing it in. Make sure that the motor doesn't get hung up. The motor loves to get hung up in the system. Once you have the system in, you have to make sure that you find the space where the speaker is. You think there's more space. Excuse me, I might have to sneeze here. But there's not. There's some metal from the door panel in the way. So you have to go a little bit further into the center where you actually have more space. And that's when you can use and rotate it. Once you rotated it, don't worry about the bolts yet. Keep your hand either in the opening where the speaker goes or down here below, and get the motor lined up into its openings. That's the most important one. So also look where everything else goes, but as soon as you have your motor in, go ahead, hold it in the back, and hand apply already the nuts to it. These nuts have a groove in the rear, so they bite into the metal, so you don't need a washer. You can apply a little bit of Loctite to it, but very, very minor, so it's just not even a drop. So this is metal on metal, so you don't have to worry about plastic. There are other units out there which are actually plastic. So if you have the plastic model, which is what the default is from Mopar, and if you go to auto houses like an AutoZone or O'Reilly's, most likely you get it with the plastic. Be careful the way you screw it in, because plastic is an ABS plastic which grabs firmly on the thread of a screw, but as soon as you put a little bit too much torque, it snaps and breaks into multiple pieces. So now we have the rail in place. Now we're gonna move. Let me readjust the camera so you guys can see a little bit better. Alright, so I leave you guys like this right now. I'm focusing on the top. So again, this is where the motor sits. Just put it in place, and now I'm grabbing here from behind for the video, but you can do the same also through this hole on the other side to access your rail, and you just push it into place where actually, you see now, there's one bolt here and the second one there. And now just hand tighten them in halfway. Don't do it all the way because you have 2 more holes to do. This is the other hole and the last one is on the bottom. So now you focus on the center one, get it lined up, you push it in. Come on. Alright, we're in, and now the last one is here on the bottom. And once you have them all loosely in place, now you can actually go ahead and tighten them all up. Let me reposition you guys. So again, I'm using my Makita battery drill. I love Makita for multiple reasons. Batteries you can get off brands, they last long, all the parts on the drills are easy to replace and very affordable. So, but now I'm going only over to a 7 and just tighten them. So, once we have them on, I just go with the ratchet and just do a 90-degree, actually only a 45-degree turn, and it snugs it up. You don't have to crank like crazy on it, and they are all correctly in place. Now, he had wood shimmed in here. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So there's wood shims actually put in. See if I can show you guys. There they are. They're in the jamb, which holding the glass in place. So I'm gonna remove those. Now. That's where you have to pay attention. When you remove those shimmies, your glass might slide. So ideally you have 2 people, but there's your glass. Make sure your glass is not flying off or flying somewhere. So a shim in here to save it is always good. So now you need your car key. Ta-ta. And you need your panel correctly to hook up your controls. You put your car into the ignition status. Once it's in ignition, sorry for the ringing, but that's how the car works. You go and you hook up your motor system to your controls, and it's just being pushed into the opening here. As soon as you have that, it should be going down. It's not going down, so there's maybe more damage to the unit than I expected, but once you have that up or down, oh, it's actually down here. Oh, I went too fast. You guys know what I forgot? Hook up the motor. Yep. So the motor has a wire which is here somewhere. There it is. Forgot to hook it up. Silly me. So you pull it through the hole here. You push it back in and it's gonna click. And then you push the security pin down. But before that, I'm going to slide it back into the rail here. So now it's installed. Now we're going to do the same. So here's an up close, and you just line the pins up and then you push it in. Listen to it. It's snapped in. You do the same on the other side. Which is there. Alright, so I found a couple screws, got those in. Now we only have to do everything in the reverse order. Plug your connector in first for your control, which is a big one in the white. Then the second one is for your electric side mirrors. And then you line up your two mechanisms for your door. And you have your pins back on. And now we should be able to pin this door panel back in place. I only do it temporary right now because I still have to get all the brackets. So this is the crucial one. It's a one here in the center. Once that one lines up, everything else lines with it. Make sure. And if your rubber lip is being folded in, you can use a butter knife at the end. Just run it underneath, and that will cure the situation that you get the lip out without destroying it. So once you have this Phillips screw in, your whole panel is already holding in place. Then you only get the additional screws if you would have them. I'm missing this one. This was an alternative they put in there, so I have to replace that. And with that being said, thanks for watching, guys, and please rate and subscribe. There are more videos to come. Thank you. So, on the quick side note, it does not work on this side, but I just tried it out and it works on the other side.